Hi, good evening, viewers. Thank you for being part of this webcast webinar. And this is the SOFA to 5K series of webinars, which are designed to take the book that I have written and which you too can run as published, which is called SOFA to 5K. So let me tell you something about the book. The book is a very essential, basic book. This is the book that I wished I had uh, for me to read when I started running. And I have taken I'm really standing on the heads of shoulders of all the experts that are there in the world of running and distill all that knowledge into a very small, easy to read book that is very motivating and can help you reap the benefits of running without being too technical about things. Uh, this series of webinars are designed to be part of the book, to further the book, to enhance the book, and for also uh, my readers and my viewers to have a more direct interaction regarding various chapters and aspects of the book. So that is why these webinars are there. The webinars are broadcast live, and the Google Plus and Twitter and Facebook give a notice of when the webinars are going to be held if you follow us on any of the social media. But after the webinar is over, if you can't be there for the live session, the conversation can continue. And after the webinar is over, you can always come to the YouTube link where these are all posted and captured forever. And you can, put in your comments, and I will always be there to answer them for you. So it doesn't matter if you're not there for the live webinar itself. In each webinar, we take a very small aspect of the book and try to expand on it more so that it is elucidated even better, and a next level of understanding is afforded by these webinars. We covered a few topics that were very this, and with this webinar, we kind of dive deep down into the book. And we were literally taking one paragraph and spending about 20 minutes on it and giving you a depth of knowledge that is one layer below what that book, which is easy to read, is all about. So in this webinar, in this particular episode, I touch upon why people run, and more particularly, the subject is weight reduction. So going back into getting into the topic directly, 60 to 70% of the people who run, if you ask them why they run, they will always tell you weight reduction. Okay, let me ask you this question. How many people in the audience don't really want to lose weight? Almost everybody that I have met and asked this question to in audiences have told me that they want to lose weight. There are very few in the younger crowd who don't want to lose weight, but almost everybody who's the target audience of the book, that is typical 35, 40 plus, middle-aged executive, corner office guy, he wants to, the answer is always he wants to lose weight. He wants to lose weight for a variety of reasons. Some are medical, many are vanity, look fitter, look sexier, wear that slinky black dress, have a flat stomach, and all those other reasons that I've always known of. But more particularly, one of the key reasons why people want to lose weight is because the doctors tell them to lose weight. And the doctors tell them to lose weight typically after some medical report has been read, say diabetes or lipid profile or hypertension, that is blood pressure. There are three killer diseases, and either of them is not in good shape. And the doctor inevitably says, go for a walk, go for a run, do some exercise, whatever, and lose weight. So people typically join gyms, start walking, do various things, and then ultimately they come to the realization that they cannot lose weight until they start running. And today we are going to explore that, and we are going to find out why running is so critical and why you must run if you really want to lose weight. So, so what really happens is that uh, you can walk. And I have dealt in an earlier webinar that walking doesn't allow you to lose as much weight as much as running. because running, there is more intensity. You're carrying your weight, both your feet are in the air and you're landing down. Because of that, your heart rate goes up and your body works more. There is more mehnat, there's more pasina in the entire effort. And because of that, you burn more calories. And it is because of the calories that you burn more that you start losing the weight. Now, this is simple. This is all very simple science. Let's go one level down and look at a little bit behind the science of why people say and why I say that if you want to really lose weight, you got to run at least 5 kilometers, which is the hypothesis of the book. You must run at least 5 kilometers 2 3 times a week. So if you really take three distinct activities or levels of intensities, there is the resting, there is a walking, and there is a running. Okay, so let's open up the first chart, and I've got some charts ready for you. And here is what the the first chart is. You are at rest. You are sitting in a sofa. Remote control is in your hand. Your speed at which you are moving forward is 0 kilometers an hour, obviously, and your heart rate, I'm assuming at that point of time, is about 70, beats per minute, which is typically an average. An average is said to be 72. So I just put 70 there as it is. And if you sit for 1 minute, your MET uh, is supposed to be, you're supposed to be burning 1 calorie per minute. Okay, so that is this. And there's something known as EPOC. EPOC is excessive post oxygen consumption, excessive post exercise post oxygen consumption, which means that after you stopped exercising, you still continue to burn more calories. Your BMR, that is your basic metabolism rate, is higher, and it remains high for a certain period of time. So you burn calories when you run, or when you walk, or when you exercise, and then after that also your body is in a heightened state of consuming calories because it's repairing itself and it's getting the muscles to become stronger, etc. So there is EPOC. So the EPOC when you are resting is zero, because you're not doing any exercise, so your body is not going to uh, burn more calories just because you didn't do any exercise. So that is a situation at rest. Now let's see what happens when you walk. You go out for a morning walk. Doctor says, "Oh, morning walk is very important, and you should walk." And you've become part of a walking group. You all walk in the garden, maidan, jogging track, whatever. And you also get the belief that you shouldn't run because your knees will get damaged, etc. So the walking is perfect. It's good. You're getting out of the house. You're out there in the good weather, the hot weather, cold weather, and you're walking. You're mixing with friends. There is a sense that you're being healthy. But what happens in what happens in this? So when you walk, we are assuming that you're walking at about 5 kilometers an hour. An average man walks between 4 and 6. So a brisk walk is about 6 kilometers an hour, and a walk around a shopping mall kind of walk is about 4 kilometers an hour average. So I have assumed that we walk at about 5 kilometers an hour. Your heart rate slightly goes up. It's about 100 now because you're walking. Your heart rate is up. If you're brisk, it may be 120. These are just average numbers, assumptions to go by. And the amount of calories that you're burning is now double. So it's about 2 calories per kg of body weight that you're burning. So that is the amount of calories that you're burning, the approximate number. And then the epoch after walking, that is 3 hours after you have finished your exercise. Okay, 3 hours after you finish your morning walk, your epoch is still 0%. You're not burning any calories extra 3 hours after, just because you went for a morning walk. And typically what happens is that people who go for a morning walk feel entitled. They come back and have a very hearty breakfast. And I know so many people who have been walking for years and years together in Marine Drive, park, and beach, and I never lost weight. Okay, so let's take the third scenario, which is running. Okay, so now you're running a very casual run, very easy run, very comfortable run. You're not like really sprinting, you're not busting your guts out. Is about 8 kilometers an hour. 8 kilometers an hour is the speed at which you will complete a half marathon, 21 kilometers in 3 hours, which is a cutoff for Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon. For most marathons, okay, it's considered as the very basic entry level running. Okay, you will run about 5 kilometers in about 45 minutes. Okay, so it's very comfortable pace of running. Your heart rate will go up 140, 150, depending upon what is your exercise. Again, these are just broad assumption numbers, but the calories go up to 5 per minute per kg. So you have now, you can see that, and the epoch after 3 hours is 13% of what you're burning. So what you can see clearly here, that the minute you increased your speed from 5 to 8, and you increased your heart rate from 100 to 140, the amount of oxygen that you kept consuming, you're becoming breathless, you're panting a bit, you're consuming more oxygen, you cannot talk into a phone anymore, etc. And and when that happened, your amount of calories not just double, it almost became 2.5 times more, 1.5 times more. So you can see that running increased the amount of calories that you actually burn for every minute that you exercise. Okay, the epoch, the excessive post exercise or oxygen consumption, is now at 13%. This is 13% after 3 hours. That means even 3 hours after you stop the run, you went for running from 6 to 7, let us say, in the morning, at 10 o'clock also your BMR is higher. Not only burn calories when you ran, but you are also continuing to burn more calories 3 hours after you finish your run. So you can imagine that the total amount of calories burned because of running is much more than what you burn because of walking. So that is why running is a leading cause for weight reduction. Many people who take up running, in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you will find that slowly they start dropping their weight. Things work like magic. Okay, so this chart really brings out the difference between not running, walking, being sedentary, walking, and running. So nothing can be simpler than the truth, and this chart says it all. So let's going back. This is another reason why you start losing weight when you run. As you start running, you slowly start also comparing performances. So you start looking at timings. A little bit of competitiveness comes into it, and that is healthy. It should be healthy. We are all competitive human beings. I have trained people who are 60, 65. Almost every time after they finish the run, they come and tell me what time they did. And I keep telling them my biggest job there is to tell them not to be competitive. Okay, and just run for the sheer pleasure, but you just can't help it. I have known ladies, I have known youngsters, I have known this. After a race, everybody tells me what is the time they finished it in, and everybody hopes to be better than whatever they ran in. Okay, so if a 65-year-old heart patient can be competitive, if a 72-year-old heart patient can be competitive, the kind of folks that I train regularly, everybody else is going to be competitive. So this competition gets into you, and it does something very good for you. What it does is that you soon start realizing that I can only run faster and save my body and protect my knees and everything else if I start losing weight. When this realization comes into you, you start subconsciously thinking that I should not indulge in all the excesses that I should indulge in. So if you're walking, it doesn't matter. You can be pot-bellied and still walk at 4 to 5 kilometers an hour, and you can be chatting with your friends and no sense of competition. Okay, you might decide to walk 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour or 1 hour, but nobody is going to, there's no competition for walking. Okay, but there are competitions for running. There are running races all over the world. And what happens is that when you start running, you start measuring yourself, and you know that the only way you can improve your speed, the only way you can improve your performance, the easiest way is to lose weight. The minute you lose weight, you're going to do better. The minute you do better, you're going to feel happy about yourself. Because you're happy with yourself, you're going to run more. Because you're running more, you're going to start losing more weight. Okay, so it's that simple. I mean, it's a nice positive upward spiral that happens when you start running, and this benefit is available to you for free. You just need to buy the book, and you can start taking the benefits of the benefits of running and improving your healthy life. The the other thing that happens as you start taking up running is that you stop socializing. What I mean is that it is quite likely that one of the reasons why you put on all this weight is because you partied a lot. You were young, you felt your stomach was made of steel, you could eat anything, you could drink anything, and nothing would happen to you. You could drink till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you were a party animal, you were in the cocktail circuit, and you could do whatever you want to do, and next day morning you would show up at 9 o'clock for that presentation and still be absolutely up and kicking. And now, because you got to go for your run, and the runs happen typically in weekends, because weekdays you are busy rushing off to office, so you're not done your run. So Saturday, Sunday, you want to go out and not miss your run. And you love running now because you are gaining some proficiency in running as you go as per the plan, and you are liking the fact that you're running. You're mixing with a good number of people who are very upbeat and positive. You slowly start making excuses to not attend parties. You know that if you go to a party, there is no stopping you. Okay, so the best thing you say to yourself is that let me find a reason and not go to the party, or you go to the party and come out early. Okay, because you got a run. In due course of time, you don't feel ashamed to say that you got a run tomorrow. You proudly say, oh, I got a run tomorrow and I need to be early, etc. And friends slowly start understanding your imperatives to not party so much. And basically because of that, your food intake, your consumption pattern changes, and you start losing weight. Okay, so that is why running helps you to lose weight. First is it increases the number of calories that you spend. Second is it forcefully puts the imperatives in front of you that only if you lose weight can you run better. And third is, because you have to run typically in the mornings, you stop being a party animal, your consumption patterns change. And because your consumption patterns change, your dietary intake is lesser, and you start losing weight because of that. So this is a very healthy, nice, positive spiral. And because of this, you start losing weight when you take up running. Okay, so this is the key thing that I thought I should share with you about why you should take up running and lose weight. In the next one, we will talk about all the beneficial effects it does in terms of the medical metrics and all that, with slightly longer list that I'll present. And if you have any questions, please feel free to chat with me in the discussion page. This YouTube will go up online, and as soon as it goes up online, you can chat with me, ask me more questions. I am very, very happy to answer them. I love interaction. I love being asked questions. I'm very happy to share my knowledge, whatever motivate you to take up running and lose weight, and therefore become healthier. So thank you very much for spending this part of the day with us. Thank you. Bye.